Why am I standing up when I normally start off my videos in that stupid gamer chair? That's because it's Freeform Friday and we can do whatever we want. And we're going to do whatever we want today right here on GearGasms. Hi everybody, welcome to GearGasms. I'm your host, Alan Barnes. Hi everybody, welcome to GearGasms. I'm your host, Alan Barnes, and yes, I am standing up today. I feel so free. It's Freeform Friday number 6, but Freeform Friday means we're gonna talk a little guitar, we're gonna play a little music, we're gonna have some fun, we're gonna get a few laughs. Freeform Friday is kind of like Sundays with Ola, if you watch that show, except a lot less well-produced and a lot less engaging, but it'll be shorter. Now, if I look awkward to you standing up, like I don't quite know what to do with myself standing here, like I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to move around and throw the focus off or step off my mark, then you're correct. So why prolong the agony? I'm just going to sit down. Alrighty, I've got my Cheap Trick rig here, my Rick Nielson special. Rig of the day is this Epiphone Explorer into the orange CR120. You can't see it, it's not in the shot. Mic on the cabinet, straight into the DAW. Let's hear how it sounds. Sounds kind of boxy, doesn't it? I've never liked this guitar with that amp for whatever reason, and it's not the amp's fault. It's this thing, the pickups. I got it a couple of months ago, and I'm not really sure if I still like them yet, and the switch is hinky. But I'm getting a new pickguard for it, a white one, and I think at that point I will try and address the switch issue. But meanwhile, let's crank it through the orange. Sounds better for lead. I don't really love it though for rhythm. Now, to be fair, I've got the gain probably 3/4 of the way up on it. Depending on how old you are when you think of an Explorer, if you're like super old like me, you think of maybe the dude in Skinner, that other dude in Blackfoot, or maybe that dude in Cheap Trick. But if you're younger, maybe you think about that dude in U2, some of their stuff, I don't know. I think Blackfoot though sounds appropriate, maybe with this tone. Goodbye, pretty mama, get yourself a money man. Is that what he's saying? Get yourself a money man, get yourself a loving man? I don't know.
Doggone it, if he wanted a pig, why didn't he just take my wife? And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
I'd love you to love me.
the neck pickup sounds. Remember when I said the switch was hinky? That's what I'm talking about. Here's a question I don't get asked a lot, but I've been asked often enough that I feel like maybe I need to answer it in one of these videos. Patreon. People say, hey Alan, how come you don't do that Patreon? You're leaving money on the table. And if you don't know, Patreon is kind of ostensibly like a tip jar for YouTube creators. That'd be a great thing. Somebody throw you a couple nickels every once in a while, help out with the channel expenses. I love the concept. But back when I used to play, I didn't put a tip jar out when I first started doing it, and people would say, Alan, you know, you really need to put a tip jar out, put a tip jar out. I didn't want to put a tip jar out because it kind of felt like begging. So when I finally did it, I put a tip jar out and I put a little sticker sign on the front of it and it said, I am blind and my dog is dead. So that way it really would be like begging. Now, I made money on that tip jar often because people were just amused that I put that on the jar and they gave me $1 even though I sucked. But the evil twin, the dark side of that whole prospect is some people genuinely do put $1 in there as a thank you to tell you you've done a good job and they expect nothing from it. But other people, when they drop that $1 into your jar, they are now your white devil slave master. And they are going to tell you what to do for the entire rest of the night. For that $1, heaven forbid they put a 5 in it, a 10 or a 20, Jesus, they're going to be making your set list for the rest of the night. They send you a beer, forget about it. You're going to have to sleep with their hideously fat wife. So when I think about doing a Patreon on the old YouTube, the thing I see people doing is like, yes, they have a Patreon. It'd be great if somebody wanted to give me $1. And it would be great if they just gave me $1 in appreciation and they didn't expect to be my puppet master for here, ever, and after. But lots of folks give that $1 and they want something. And what I see these YouTube channels doing is they'll say, well, we've got the Patreons get to see my videos early. Well, whoop-de-flip-and-do. Most of y'all don't want to see my videos when they come out on the day they're supposed to come out. I ain't got a book I'm selling. I don't have some kind of lessons. I don't make tabs for this garbage that I play, probably because a tab can't be made. I don't know how you tab the mistakes. I don't have backing tracks available for my members to download. I don't really have anything that I can offer except my time and my stupidity, and both are in very, very short supply. It's just not worth the time and the aggravation, I don't think. But even more important, I cannot set up a storefront when I don't have anything of value to sell people, except for swag. I got t-shirts. T-shirts.
Yikes, I could use a distraction right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
True confession time. Sometimes I get sick of gear. I know, right? This is a gear channel. But I gotta be honest with you people, sometimes I get so tired of gear. I get tired of reading about it. I get tired of watching videos about it. I get tired of making videos about it. I get tired of fooling around with it, trying to get a good sound, chasing tone, farting with presets, messing with microphones and speakers, and all of this stuff that my entire channel is based on. Sometimes I get sick of it. And let me give you an example. We were just talking about how I didn't really like the tone that I'm getting. This is the guitar straight into the orange. Okay, so I don't really like the tone I'm getting. I plugged it in and I hit a switch. And let's just say I want to work on some fundamentals. Do I really need to spend an hour setting up the most perfect, awe-inspiring tone? By the time I'm done finding my tone, my entire tone bone is gone. Say I just want to work on vibrato. Isn't that a lot better for just working on your scales? Just grab a guitar, plug it into something, get a tone that just sounds halfway decent, and just start playing for the sheer joy of it and start practicing.
The problem now is that these people are expecting a show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Stop spending so much time futzing around with tone and work on your basic skills. You can tell, probably, I'm quite sure that when you listen to my basic skills on this channel, you could say, that old man spends too much time with his gear and not enough time thumping that thing. And you'd be right. Find a shitty tone and try to make it sing. What did we learn today? We learned that Patreon for YouTubers can be kind of like a tip jar. But anytime that individuals start giving you money, they feel like you're obligated to them. Sometimes to an extent that's way, way past whatever money they gave you. Kind of like your boss. Kind of like your wife. She give you money? Mine does. We've also learned that even when, or maybe especially when, you host a gear-related YouTube channel, you can get really, really sick of gear. It's a curse. I love gear. I love reading about it, talking about it, farting with it, playing around. But sometimes you can waste so much time on gear and farting around with it that you forget that your chops still suck and you should probably work on that. As always, I thank you for your time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have some really, really classless friends that you'd like to share GearGasms with, we'd be oh so happy to have them. You can buy a t-shirt if you want to, and even better, if you buy a t-shirt, please photograph yourself in that t-shirt and I'll make sure that we'll put it on the channel. Whatever you do in the next 7 days, don't tell Tommy Lee about it, because he's just going to snort it all up, then take a great big dump into Gmaw's cat box. But play more guitar, watch less YouTube, and keep coming back here week after week for more GearGasms.